All right, guys, yesterday we all got an email from Sparrows right about the same time announcing another batch of brand new products that they're introducing. So, of course, I hopped on my bicycle. I rode all the way up to Ontario and I picked them up. But this is not one of them. This is just to give you an idea of the scale of how incredibly tiny this first item is. This is what the Sparrows Tuxedo and Tuxedo Royale usually come in. I've reviewed these and they're very nice cases, Velcro, and they fit right into your back pocket. This new one is called the Nightcrawler. Sells for $32 US, and just for comparison, you can see it's like 3/4 size. And it's got the same thickness, and most of the thickness of this is the Velcro that's on the lid, believe it or not. These things are incredibly tiny. The first thing you notice when you pull these out is on the Nightcrawler, it's got that cross hatching, almost like a snake skin on the tensioner. So let's pull these guys out. And I have been playing with these for a couple of days. I was curious if that crosshatch really added anything. It just didn't. It seemed like it was more ornamental than anything else, but having played with it, it seems like when I use incredibly light tension, that adds just a little bit extra adhesion when I'm using really light tension. My finger doesn't slip around on it, just kind of grips it, a little bit of adhesion there. So I also was curious about the size because of the size of the package, so small, if these were the same dimension as the originals. And so I pulled out a brand new flat 5 package, popped them out, and they are. They are identical in every dimension, length, thickness. This is a set of flat 5, except they've just put that cross hatching on it for the Nightcrawler. The picks themselves, and I thought, well, these got to be tiny. I mean, a normal pick, I mean, that's a normal pick. That thing would stick way up there. Got to be something weird about it. So you pull them out, and there is. These things, let me just lay them down here and grab one here. The handles have what Sparrows is calling spines. Now, I know porcupines have spines. I didn't realize that Nightcrawlers had spines, but maybe like the bands in their skin is what that's supposed to represent. It has a little undulation to it, and I question why didn't they just keep it equal and like balance the same length on both sides. But when I held it, I realized that it was for ergonomics. They really put some thought into this. Now, a normal pick, of course, when you hold it, you balance it on the tip of your finger there, and it goes all the way back and kind of bites into the fleshy part of your hand right there while you pick. These are not nearly that long. Get them up here and let me hold them right up here just to give you an idea. It's about right there. So they're a little over half as long as a normal handle. But when you hold it, again, those spines kind of bite into the ridges of your fingerprint. And the back of that, instead of reaching all the way back there, it reaches to the fleshy part of your finger to help you hold it while you're picking or raking. Of course, you can always hold it like this if you're really raking vigorously like I do. And again, those spines really give you something to hang on to. It really doesn't slide around. So they really did put a lot of thought into that. So obviously you get a worm. These are all 25 thousandths stainless steel, the same durable material that the tuxedos are made out of. Same thickness, same level of durability. If you get a worm, you must get a Bogota. And there you go, your spiny Bogota. Full size, no reduction in the tip of any of these picks. They're all exactly the same dimensions. The only thing that changed is the handle. Another rake here. We got an L rake or city rake. Now, I will tell you, when we start getting into I don't care so much about rakes, about polishing those. Here we go, half diamond. I don't care how well the shafts on the rakes are polished, but I do care about the hooks, because this is where you really need to maximize your chances of getting the feedback. These have been tumbled. There are no sharp edges, not even in between these little spines. They spent a lot of time in the tumbler. Very nice finish. Nice and shiny, as you can see. But when you look at the edges, come on camera, work with me, you can see that they're still a little squared off. And so on these two hooks, definitely, I would use some sandpaper, round these guys off to make them glide right inside of the keyway. I have played with these. These are awesome, particularly this one. I like this Euro Hybrid. You guys have seen me using this a lot. This is like the master key for all master locks. And you can do it fast because you got that nice wide tip there. You don't have to worry about precision placement on the pins. Of course, there's nothing precision about Master Lock. Anyway, we know that. But anyway, back to the point, Bill. Short hook. Nicely shaped. Nice durable picks. Anyway, if you're looking for a very compact picking set that will obviously fit into your front pocket in this tiny little case, $32, the Nightcrawler probably is one of your El Primo choices. Let me get on with item number 2, see what we got. All right, guys, I was just bragging about how incredibly tiny this new Nightcrawler set is. And I'm going to talk about another full-size kit, another new product from Sparrows. And, you know, when I re-listen to some of my latest videos reviewing Sparrows products, I really do. I'm starting to realize I do sound like a fanboy, and I apologize for that. But I just can't help it. When I'm an engineer, you guys know that. When I see a new product or a company putting out new products at a regular pace, they're all priced fairly and they're all made out of durable material with great guarantees. I mean, how can you not be excited about something like that? Particularly in the lock sport community. So they really do make good stuff, and this is no exception. This Sliver kit is something I never thought I would see produced commercially. When you open this bad boy, by the way, this is the OD green case. This is the first one I've ever seen. Kind of a cool color. Anyway, enough of that. Enough aesthetics. Get on with it, Bill. When we open this guy up, a couple of things you might notice. There are 11 total picks, and we're going to take a close look at them. But let's just grab one of these guys. When you take a look at this, if I can hold them right here, punched through the rear of this, .012. Every one of these is made out of 12,301 stainless steel. It's about as durable as you're going to get, but it's so flexy. Now, you guys have seen me using these 12,000s before. I keep them lined up when I run across a really paracentric lock that I just can't get even a 15,000ths thick pick into. I reach for one of those guys, and it's the same thickness as this, 12,000. It's so flexy, you can actually bend it around very tight paracentric warding and just squeeze it up there and reach it up into the highest point of the lock to reach those pins. These things, they are, because they're so thin, they can be a little bit delicate. So these are clearly not beginner picks. But if you find yourself attacking paracentric keyways that you just can't reach up in there with a 15,000 or certainly not a 22,000, this would be an excellent choice. These are so thin, I doubt you'll even be able to see the edge on the camera, but you don't need to do anything to these picks at all. These have been tumbled. They're pretty nice. I wouldn't bother doing any sanding on any of these. They've been tumbled. They have a nice shiny finish. There are no sharp edges that I've been able to pick out on any of these. One thing I have noticed is that Sparrows did slightly modify the height profile, and I think the reason, particularly right in here, I think the reason they did that, well, there's no question the reason they did that. 12,000 is a very fragile material, and they were trying to add a little bit more strength by adding a little bit extra thickness right in here. So when we start prying pins, if it was all the same thickness as what you see up here, they would start to bend fairly easily. But by putting a little extra meat up in here, it's going to make, you can pry those pins just a little bit more before these things will start to yield on you. Anyway, this is the deep hook. You've already been staring at that long enough, I know. We also get, I'm just going to go down a pile here, the double humper Bogota. And again, you don't need to do anything to these 12,000. They are ready to go out of the package. Here's the triple Bogota. All perfect finish. We have, again with the rake, we have a city rake or L rake. Man, it's almost like tin foil. Snake rake. We have another deep hook, but this one has a much finer tip on him. So he would bend around those curves, and since we have a short hook here and one with a very sharp tip, I'll hold them both up at the same time. We got the same amount of rise. It's just that that bottom one with the sharp tip can really reach up inside of there. That tip of that will bend so easily to fold itself around that extreme paracentric keyways. We have a half diamond. we have, and again, we had a Bogota, so we're going to have his brother here. It is a Sparrows proprietary worm in 12 thousandths. And finally, one of my favorites, the Euro Hybrid. This is like the master key for all master locks. It's got a nice fat tip on him. It's like a short hook in terms of the amount of hook, but it's a nice fat tip, so you don't have to worry about precise placement. You just shove them in there and just bully those master locks open. Of course, I would never dream of putting a 12,000 pick in a master lock, since it really doesn't need it, since you can drive a Volkswagen up inside of those guys. Anyway, guys, here you go. This is the brand new Sliver Pick Set. By the way, it's identical in composition to the very first pick set I ever bought from Sparrows, which was the Whizwazzle kit. I don't know how many of you guys remember him. His videos are still out there. Great guy. Introduced me to picking a long time ago. I used to drool over his abilities and some of the locks that he was picking, mostly with homemade picks, and a lot of his designs went to Sparrows. Anyway, guys, there you go. The Sliver Pick. This sells for, if I get this right, $45 US. You'll notice, by the way, there are no tensioners in here. And that's because it's not intended as a standalone kit. It's kind of an add-on kit. So if you have a pick kit with, say, 23 thousandths in it, and you want to add a set of thin ones, maybe you got 15s even, this would be a great add-on. So you can use the tensioners. They don't need to be 12 thousandths. You can use the tensioners from either the 15 thousandths or the 25 thousandths kit. Anyway, guys, there you go. The Sliver Picks from Fanboy Bosnianbill. Not really. All right, guys, Sparrows has started producing a series of picks they call the Strike Picks, and this is one of them. This is the new Scarab. In an earlier review, I mentioned I was going to demonstrate how the Strike Picks work, and then I realized that Sparrows had asked me to wait until they actually released the product. Bill, how about that? So now we're going to finally do it. This is the Scarab, sells for $9.50. It's actually two picks, and you can tell how large it is. I'm holding it up against my hand there. These are pretty large picks. They're designed to be used on the withdrawal. Let me pull these out and show you what we're talking about. Hold them side by side. They're actually made with, I think it's strictly for cool factor, ultraviolet paint, so they do glow in the dark. So a pretty cool picture of a Scarab there. Anyway, let's get on with how they work. You get two different frequencies of rakes. So the idea is, and here we got a quick set. We'll try him first. Keep him locked, see if we can get him unlocked. The idea is it's supposed to rake a lot like when you rake with a short hook. You slide him all the way in, maintain light tension, and then you kind of pull him out quickly. I almost said yank him out, but we're not going to yank him out. So let's see if we can get a tensioner in there. Slide our Scarab in there. Apply just a little bit of tension. You can see how little it is with just one finger, and then pull him out. See if we can get him to rake. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Let me move this up. Let's try something a little more of a challenge. Try this guy. This is a brand new Schlag. Let me get a different tensioner on this guy. A little bit wider. That ought to work. All right, slide them all the way in. This one may take a few extra yanks. Get in there. This one's a little tighter. Very light tension. Try it again. I think my tensioner is a little bit crooked in there. Let me try the short end. He's robbing me of workspace. And my clumsiness is robbing me of effectiveness. All right, try that one more time. Get in there. Let me try that white one. All right. We'll try it like that. I don't think he's binding. He does give me a little more room. It was worth the wait. Anyway, guys, there you go. This is the brand new Scarab. Sells for $9.50. It is part of their Quick Strike kit coming out of Sparrows. All right, let me clean this bench off and let's get on with the good stuff, the giveaways. All right, now we come to everybody's favorite part of the video, the massive giveaway at the end. All right, we got 3 separate giveaways, and they're all identical this week. You're going to get one of the brand new Scarabs from Sparrows. And you remember this guy? The Nightcrawler. You get a brand new Nightcrawler. And the third thing that goes along with the giveaway is a set of these Sliver Picks, a 12,000th inch thick pick. This is giveaway number 1, number 2, and number 3. If you'd like to win, all you got to do is register. Go to the webpage right there. Middle of the page is a big purple button that says Weekend Giveaway. Click on it, register. With a little bit of luck, you'll be one of the 3 lucky winners next week when my webmaster draws 3 random names. In the meantime, guys, stay safe, stay legal. As always, I appreciate your subscription. And if you're going to subscribe, you might as well hit the notification bell so when I got a new video, you'll be one of the first to know. If you like this video and like to see more like it, click on the like button. Let me know. Thanks, guys.
LockLab, where the fun begins.